Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. 2021 will mark an important anniversary, 50 years of Bangladesh. For those of us who were born and around at that time, and for those who are not, for India, it was a significant turning point when the Indian Armed Forces defeated Pakistan in the 1971 war and liberated East Pakistan that led to the birth of Bangladesh. Since then, Bangladesh has a history of ups and downs in its growth and in its relations with India. Currently, we are witnessing a high in our relations between India and Bangladesh, and that is good. There is also a huge potential for linking not just West Bengal, but the northeastern states to what we can call the new East India hub that could ensure mutual growth for both Bangladesh and India and the region. But today, we will look at a completely different aspect. We will, in some senses, go down memory lane. We would look at the momentous occasion of the formation of Bangladesh that India aided. And amongst us, I am honored and privileged to welcome three war heroes as our panelists who would enlighten us and bring that piece of history back apart from looking ahead. Let me begin with General Shankar Rao Chaudhary, familiar face to India, a member of parliament, but most importantly, former Chief of Army Staff between 1994 and 1997. During the war, he was an armored corps officer who was seconded to the Mukti Bahani forces that were fighting in the East Pakistan Army in 1971. He was a brigade major of Charlie sector in West Bengal that supervised their training, equipping them and launching the Mukti Bahani guerrillas into East Pakistan that later took part in the liberation of Bangladesh. So let's give him a warm round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Then we have Lieutenant Colonel Sajjad Zahir. He has a fascinating bio. He was a Pakistani officer who crossed over into Indian territory in Punjab in 1971, carrying with him maps and vital information which helped the Indian forces in their fight against the Pakistan army in the western sector. He later fought with the Mukti Bahani artillery unit in Sylhet. He has written 54 books and was awarded the Swadhinta Padak, I hope I've got that pronunciation right, the Independence Award, the highest civilian award in Bangladesh in 2013. And he has worked towards reuniting the families of India and Bangladeshi soldiers and giving them recognition. And this year, ladies and gentlemen, he was awarded the Padma Shri by the Indian government. Let's give him a warm round of applause. We also have Colonel Ashok Kumar Tara, Veer Chakra, Friend of Bangladesh Award. Colonel Tara, again, I mean, this is a tremendous history that he has brought to us. He entered Dhaka during the liberation of Bangladesh, walked into Sheikh Mujibur Rahman's home, where his family was being held hostage by Pakistani soldiers, and brought his family out to safety. And among them, among the captives he freed is Sheikh Hasina, who is currently the Prime Minister of Bangladesh. So, when he retired in 1994, let's give him a warm round of applause for that as well. I'm going to begin this session by talking to General Chaudhary. General Chaudhary? Beginning the session with you. Why do you think the 1971 war conflict was in many ways different from all the conflicts we have fought in the 20th century? And what were the big lessons we learned from it?
Well, the biggest feature of the 1971 war was that it was a war where we defeated Pakistan totally and we won a complete victory. It's a rare event on a battlefield in modern times. A clear-cut victory and a clear-cut defeat. The 1971 war in Bangladesh, as fought by the Indian Army and their allies, the friendly forces of the Mukti Bahini, was a brilliant example of improvisation, of tactical improvisation. But the result was a feature which is not generally found in warfare nowadays, a clear-cut victory. And that it was something to be remembered.
General Chaudhary, if I can ask you at this moment, you had trained the Mukti Bahini. Yes. Do you see, given the fact that, in some senses, that, is there any parallel we can look at now in terms of training a guerrilla army that, India has done? And what is the relevance of that?
There are plenty of occasions when we can still do that. We've got the expertise, we've got the knowledge. But I would rather not look too far forward into the future. There are plenty of vulnerable areas.
Like?
Well, Balochistan for one.
You would actually think we should train a guerrilla army to go into Balochistan?
Wherever you have a friendly people, I think you should support them. The Bengalis in 1971 were a friendly population wanting to move out of the Pakistani domination. And what one reads, what one hears, what one sees, I think Balochistan is a logical area.
You're not talking about Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, are you? Or any other places?
That can follow later, but the obvious place we can go to is Balochistan.